when should an advisor really start looking at that? So if I'm maybe a solo advisor and I'm bringing on a partner, at what point do I need to start thinking now's a good time for me to find a next generation advisor to bring in?
There's two ways to answer that question. One, and they're all based on what you're trying to accomplish. The first thing is that there are hundreds, tens of thousands of advisors who will be content managing a very small book of business until they're 70 or 80 years old and then transition that book or just kind of let it wither away. There used to be there was a lot in the trade press that was very, what's the right word? Unflattering to that approach. But the reality is that as long as there's the competency of the financial advisor and they have the trust of the clients and they're doing a good job, there's really nothing wrong with that approach. So if what you want to do is keep your practice small and you want to be the solo advisor and the solo person, maybe you have some administrative and other roles around you, and you're content not to grow the practice, then in a lot of cases that business will die by attrition. The clients will pass away. You won't be bringing new clients in. The book will go into distribution, and it will just sort of become a lifestyle practice eventually. So if that's what you want to do, you probably don't need to be as focused on talent. What you should probably focus instead is, okay, when do my faculties and my ability to manage the client start to diminish? And you make a decision at that point. For most of FP Transitions clients, that's not the mindset they're in. They're in a growth mindset. And so it shifts. Instead of thinking about a time horizon, we think about a size. And we see a pretty big inflection point. Our data shows an inflection point around 200, 250 million in AUM. It's when you really need to start formalizing your org chart and really be thinking about growth. And that's a very specific number because we think about, the mass affluent client base. You can manage about 75 to 125 households. So in that mass affluent space, that's basically one lead advisor can manage about 200 million in AUM for mass affluent clients. So if you're thinking about growing beyond that, you really do need to put some serious thought into what your organizational structure looks like and how you're going to address the needs of a growing business. And that's when the conversation heats up. Some firms will have that conversation on their 60th year. Other firms will have that conversation on when they turn 35. So it really just depends. We want to meet our clients where they're at and help them get to the next step, and whatever their time horizon is.